times am I going to have to say it? I am sorry. I froze, okay? I panicked. Your sword is stronger than my Naginata. What was I even going to accomplish by? That is unacceptable. I will reprimand. What are those creatures doing here? Elder Sama, this is highly unorthodox. She's highly unorthodox. Shh, Mayako-chan. These are our guests, Tsukino Dono. You shall treat them with the respect they deserve. Now, take a seat and listen to their tale. That is an order. I understand, Elder Sama. First and foremost, let me express my gratitude for helping save the village. While Tsuki Dono's brave attempt to stop the spirit allowed us to prevent further damage, I fear that her fate would have been much worse had the spirit been allowed to continue its rampage. Therefore, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for saving Tsuki Dono and this village, Takahiro-kun. And you as well, Fox Spirits. No problem. Su-chan told us to do it. Besides, Sakura is a stupid, smelly meanie pants. Sounds about right. We humbly accept your gratitude, Elder Sama. Narumi-chan. Tsukino Dono. Thank you, Mayako-chan. Machiko-chan. You really helped us out there. You've got more guts than me. That girl had me terrified. Have you not considered that they might be working together with that monster? And that this is all just a ruse to sneak into the village and steal what little resources we have left? The elder sighed before his gaze sharpened, his tone surprisingly stern in comparison to how he had just been talking. His voice was so harsh that both girls visibly flinched at the sound of it. Mio, you seem to be underestimating the power of these spirits. If those three had joined forces, there would possibly have been no village left to defend. The man sighed deeply, shaking his head before continuing. You should be grateful. We would not stand a chance if all spirits were to conspire against us. Do I need to remind you that we can barely stand our ground against even one of them? Elder Sama, you must understand due to my situation. I simply cannot pretend to be friends with a spirit. Not after everything they have done to us. But for now, I will at least remain silent on the matter. There is more at stake here than my personal feud. Know this, Fox Spirits. If I find either of you doing anything suspicious, I will personally find out whether my sword goes through you as ineffectively as it did that monster. There shall be no talk of such things within this house. Now, Takahiro-kun, you mentioned that you wanted to tell us something. Could it be related to your younger companion's comment? I find it curious to hear her mention the name of an old spirit, such as Suyori. Actually, what I'm about to tell is something I learned directly from her. You mean you met her in person? I nodded my head firmly. There's a reason behind the spirit's attitude towards humans. And doesn't it strike you odd that there are only spirits in this particular area? It is true that there have been no spirit sightings outside of this region, but what does that have to do with us? It has something to do with this region, apparently. You see, spirits here aren't from this world. You mean to say... Taka-kun, what are you saying? We are spirits, but we surely are still of this world. Oni-sama, what does that mean? Suyori told me that you probably wouldn't remember it, because of how young you were when it happened. But spirits have a world of their own. Some accident caused both worlds to merge temporarily. Then, why aren't there more spirits around? The whole thing was apparently dealt with before it got out of hand, but a few spirits became trapped here. Machiko-san, Mayako-chan, and 4 other spirits were unfortunate enough to get stuck here. I think Suyori willingly came here to watch over them. You remember being with Suyori for a while, don't you? Ah, that's none of your business. Su-chan took care of us for a little while, but then she took us to the mansion and sort of just left us there. Now we can only visit her when she wants us to. What about these 4 other spirits? Even though she's a powerful spirit, Suyori has to follow certain rules. Because of that, she wasn't able to reach the other spirits. Triple dot. I don't know what to say. I need a moment. Might I use another room to compose myself? I'll show you. I can take you somewhere. And, look after you. To make sure you don't do anything fiendish and all that. Come on. Machiko-san. This way. When Machiko and Narumi left the room, I sighed and turned my focus back onto the conversation. Now, about the, anti-theft. Ah, right. They did seem rather adamant about getting their hands on those for some reason. What was the purpose of that? Surely these girls have undergarments of their own? It was a simple mistake. I needed a maiden's silk for my spell. How was I supposed to know that it was something other than the silky things girls wear? It was all a misunderstanding. None of them knew what maiden silk is knew that maiden silk is another term for a wedding sash. Innocent, huh? If they really thought that, they could have just used their own. Nah, that's where you're wrong. Oni-sama and I don't have any. You two? I think we should move on to a different matter. Yeah, moving on. Suyori suggested that we find a way to help you guys out. If we can make you trust us, we figured that maybe you would make us the sash. But why would you need such an item? Silly man, I already told you I need it for a spell. Mayako-chan, this guy isn't a magician. He doesn't know what you're talking about. Basically, Mayako-chan has been researching a spell that would allow her to travel to another realm. Why would she desire such a power? Imagine being stuck, far away from this village. You don't have any way to return to your loved ones. To make matters worse, you're in a place you don't know, with beings unlike anything you have seen before. Now, let's say you have a power that would let you go anywhere you want. Where would you go? Are you saying that? Yes, even if they weren't aware of it, they must have subconsciously felt they were different from you. They only wanted to go home. Home. Kind of, I guess. I just want to cast a spell to see what would happen. Su-chan told me that if I ever felt like that, I should ask her first, and go with it. So I did. And since she didn't warn me about anything, I figured it was just like any other spell. I think it's normal, Mayako-chan. Whether it's human or spirits, everyone wants a place they can call their own. A place where they are accepted for who they are. Isn't that right, Olira-sama? But you accept me for who I am, don't you, Takani? I would certainly feel sad if everyone ended up rejecting me simply because of who I am. Surely, not all spirits are good at heart. Perhaps we have been too quick in labeling them all evil. For a moment, I saw the elder's eyes wander sideways towards the room Narumi and Machiko had moved to, and his gaze softened. Unfortunately, some of us have suffered quite a lot at the hands of spirits. It will take time for people to come to terms with those feelings, Takahiro-kun. Meanwhile, in a room off to the side of the main room, the guard lieutenant was watching over the older fox spirit as she seemed to be in the grips of a minor panic attack. No, this can't be right. This can't be true. I'm from this world. This world. I belong here, don't I? Maybe you should sit down or, lay back or something. I can get you a pillow if you like, or... No, you couldn't possibly understand. You cannot know what it's like to have everything you knew your whole life just pulled out from under you completely. Actually, I do. What do you mean? It was a while ago now. I was just a kid, maybe 5 years old. There was an incident involving those other spirits. I don't know exactly what happened, but there was a big fire, and my parents got trapped inside. They never made it out. So yeah, don't tell me Don't tell me I don't know what it's like to have your whole life torn apart. I'm sorry. I did not know. I could not have known. That almost makes it worse. You should know. You should know exactly what it did to me and how it made me feel. Pardon? I do not know what you're talking about. Narumi, was it? Narutan. What? That's what you used to call me, Chi-chan. You used to call me Narutan. We used to play together almost every day. That's how you should know. I was with you when the incident happened, and you don't even remember. The girl collapsed onto one knee, touching her head. I remember the village glowing orange, a girl younger resembling you. Why could I not remember this before? Machiko? My head hurts. I remember seeing you cry. You screamed for your parents and then you were calling out my name as I ran. I had to. The villagers, they wanted to catch us, all spirits. They didn't care that we had been playing by the river all day. I couldn't explain it. I had to run. I can't believe it. Narutan, I am so sorry. The fox spirit reached out for the guard, who pulled back instinctively. As she did, the pain seemed to disappear, and Machiko looked more relieved than anything. No, not yet. I can't just forget about all that. It isn't that easy. But you did stand up to that slime. The one you called Sakura. You risked your life for Mio and for the village, and that's worth giving you a chance for. I can't promise a miracle though, because she barely even listens to me, but I'll try to talk her down. She really isn't the cold, heartless captain everyone thinks she is. Thank you. Thank you for giving us a chance, Narutan. I promise Maeko and I will do our best. Perhaps you could tell me more about the incident. I'd rather not. It isn't a happy story. But if you do me a favor, I might be more willing to tell you more. I want to get stronger. I couldn't do anything earlier today. I couldn't protect anyone. I don't have the brains for magic or anything like that. But that Takahiro guy knows some pretty flashy moves. If you get him to teach me sometime, I'll tell you about what happened. Deal, Chi-chan? I'm not too sure. That seems like a bit of an unfair deal on my part. Perhaps you could sweeten it for me, just a little. Always the charmer, huh? Alright, how about this? I'll tell you something about when we were younger. Like when we used to play together in the woods near the village. There's a little stream where we used to fish in. Sometimes you would sneak into the village with me, and we'd play pranks on the shop owners. Knocking on doors and running away, silly kid stuff. You'd even show me your magic, your illusion abilities, but you said you didn't like doing it all that much, because it made Maeko cry. That's right, when Maeko saw me transform for the first time, she got so scared and ran away and nearly hurt herself. How could I possibly have forgotten that? Narutan, thank you for telling me that. I swear, I will get Taka-kun to help you. Thank you. The girl stepped forward once again, this time wrapping her arms around the surprised guard, who did not pull back. As the two women hugged each other tightly, the fox spirit began trembling. Hey, come now. We should probably get back to the others. They're probably wondering where we've gone. Forgive me for my absence, I must admit. I did not expect such revelations. Taka-kun, have you explained the situation? Yeah, I think they get it now. But it's probably going to take a while for the villagers to accept you. I do believe it will be in everyone's best interest to see the true nature of the fox spirits. While I can't promise that friendship will be forged today, let it be known that from now on fox spirits are welcome in our village and will receive the same respect as any guest should. Thank you, Elder Sama. My sister and I are very grateful for your hospitality. However, the laws of this village shall apply to you three as well. Takahiro-kun, I believe it will be in your best interest to learn more about the village. Tsukino Dono, Narumi-chan, I leave him in your care. And try not to put him back in that cell, you two. You got it, Oji-sama. We'll do our best. What about Maeko-chan and Machiko-san? I would like them to stay here for the time being. We need to discuss what to do should the other spirits choose to return. Elder Sama, I would like to stay with you for that conversation. It is my duty to protect the village and those within it from any perceived danger. This includes you. I also believe it would serve me well to hear this firsthand. Of course, I expect nothing, Tsukino Dono. Narumi-chan, how about you take Takahiro-kun for a walk? And do not think that this is a date, young man. You're going to need more than that show earlier to earn the right to date my granddaughter. The man laughed heartily as I blushed, smiling weakly. At least I wouldn't end up cuffed and brought to a jail cell this time. Maybe it would even turn out to be a pleasant experience.